This one was bent, like thankfully like the bend has straightened it up. You cannot see the bend anymore so much, but maybe you can see it like right there. It is not very well set up to begin with, so I seriously don't know what this is because it almost looks like a corm. Do you think this is a corm? Hi, welcome back. As you can see, the table is filled with new things. Let's start with the older one. I mentioned this one in my garden upgrade, and I guess it's still adapting to the trip, the shipment and everything, but I wanted to put it in a better soil. Here's another of my last attempt. This is another Alocasia that I have tried several times and it craps out every time. So this is Alocasia Stingray. So basically is the green version of the Mickey Mouse. You know that I have a little Mickey Mouse to attend to. But let's continue doing the bigger ones and then I can move to the middle-sized ones. Now, this is one that I tried last year. It was quite pricey, about $60 or $50 for one plant. It completely died. This is Antoro velvet, and I was shocked when I saw this at Walmart. So there were three, so I got all three. I'm gonna try this again. And when I did that repot that is lost somewhere in my files, I did a lot of research in it, and but despite of that, it just died. But in the research, I found that this is quite a really finicky allocation. First of all, they were less than 20 bucks each, probably $20 with tax and everything. So this is going to give me a chance to possibly put them in different mediums. I'm not even going to try pond, but I'm going to leave one in the medium that it is, which is a mix of, for what I see, is peat moss and perlite. The other one I'm going to move it to my chunky mix. The other one I'm going to try to put it in I'm not sure what to do with the third one, but I want to address this right away, because if of the big box stores, the plants that are going to Walmart in general, of the ones that I've been going to, are the ones that are being more neglected than any of the other stores. So I believe that this plant is already under a lot of stress. So let's finish the stress and planning, because it's hard to use this one of them as a control and the other ones as an experiment, because like I have mentioned before, I truly believe that each plant is different from each other. They are troopers and they're drama queens, so we'll see. They're quite similar in size. I'm going to address this in the next Alocasia episode, which will be today, but for you will be in a different episode. This one will be after this. I want to do this one first because, as I mentioned on the garden update, this one was bent, like thankfully like the bend has straightened it up. You cannot see the bend anymore so much, but maybe you can see it like right there. Because what they did is they used a shorter box, so then you just fold this and stuff it in that box and ship it to me. I never had this plant before. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like might be an inflorescence, but it's really to the side, like it's not very well set up to begin with. So, but now that I let it strain it up, you see like this one is also fold. There's a fold on here as well. I want to give it like a much better support all the way up. So I don't know if these plants I'm sure that it will appreciate a little repot and have better support. And there's another one right here. So let's start with cleaning up the old leaves. I seriously don't know what this is, because it almost looks like a corm. Do you think this is a corm that have like completely grown out of the pot? Like it looks like they just took it from where it was and shoved it in this little pot, because I see another one in here. So I don't think these are like their fluorescents. I think these are corms. I'm gonna look it up and see what I can find. This is the oldest leaf. This one, you see like how bent is that, but I want to try to keep it because it's still green enough to like keep some photosynthesis going. I wish I have a smaller tutor. Let me get that and let me do a little bit of the research of the corm situation in this plant. Alright, so my audio went out during the recording. Unfortunately, I don't have a monitor to warn me when that happens, so I'll be doing a voiceover for this part. What I was doing here, I was adding some support for the plant since the bends on the petioles were still quite pronounced. I used not only a large tutor in the back to hold the plant upright, but also a smaller one right where the bend was. That way the stems get extra support, can straighten up and continue to transport water and nutrients effectively. Now, something really interesting I found with this plant are its underground structures. At first I thought they were corms, but they were actually attached to what looked like runners. After researching, I learned that Alocasia Pharaoh mask can produce both corms and runners. Here's the difference. Corms are strong organs, like little balls. They need to reach golf ball size before they can safely be separated or grown into a new plant. Runners are horizontal shoots that grow across the soil surface and form little baby plants. These need to develop roots at least a couple of inches long before they can be separated. If you cut them too early, they won't survive. On this plant, I found runners right under the soil line. Some of them already had small plants forming, so instead of harvesting them, I repotted the mother into a wider container. This allowed me to gently arrange the runners close to the surface so they can continue to develop naturally. One of the most fascinating things I noticed was that one of the baby plant had both a leaf facing upward and what looked like a corm-like structure facing downward. So in this case, the plant is using corms as energy storage while simultaneously pushing out new plants along runners. That's something I hadn't seen so clearly before. I did also find a couple of runners sticking out of the pot that the plant came in, and after repotting it, I tucked those into the new medium right at the surface so they hopefully grow into new plants over time. This is still a bit of an experiment for me. There isn't much detailed information out there about Pharaoh mass propagation, so I'll be learning along with you and sharing updates in future videos. Anytime I do a new Alocasia or Colocasia video, I'll include progress notes on these plants so you can see how it develops. At the time of the editing, it's been about 10 days since the repot. The plant is doing fine outside, although you can see some yellowing on the leaves. That's not surprising considering both the repot, stress, and the bending petioles I mentioned earlier. Hopefully with time it will bounce back and stabilize. Thank you so much for stopping by, and sorry about the audio issue. I'm still working on improving that side of things. Please don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, share, and leave a comment below, especially if you've grown Pharaoh mass yourself. I love to hear your tips and experiences. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.